This episode contains material that may be triggering to some individuals. Please check the show notes for more information and be mindful of your own mental health and comfort levels. Planning a Disney trip can feel like a full-time job, but it doesn't have to. Lorraine from Rainy's Magical Moments handles it all. Dining reservations, lightning lane tips, stroller rentals, even crowd calendars. And did I mention her services are totally free? Her favorite park is Magic Kingdom, her favorite ride is Haunted Mansion, and her favorite thing is making your trip stress-free. Disney not your vibe? Lorraine can help you plan your next visit to Universal Orlando, or even that cruise you've been thinking about. Visit Rainy's Magical Moments on Facebook or TikTok to start planning today. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Quiet Confessions, little mini quiet connection episodes where you and I get to hang out and check in and see how we're doing and what's going on in my life. This is kind of just a brain dump, as the last couple of weeks have been chaotic. There's been a lot of really cool things going on, but also a whole heck of a lot of really, really stressful things. And we're navigating all of it. But I figured I'd hop in here on my phone again and just see what happens. If a theme evolves, that'll be cool. If not, then I apologize for my ramblings. But yeah, so this is me sneaking into my bedroom because both of my kids are homesick. We, as a family, have been cycling through illness since Thanksgiving or just before Thanksgiving. It is ridiculous. I feel like every time I get on here, I tell you I'm sick or I'm recovering from being sick or one of my kids is sick, and it's true. We are being hit hard, and because I'm immune compromised, anytime someone in my family gets sick, I get sick. And because this is my youngest's first time in a preschool setting, she's catching everything. And because my oldest is 10 and schools are just cesspools of germs, she catches everything and then I catch everything, and we pass it all around, and it's a really fun game we like to play as a family. And my husband gets things sometimes, but most of the time he's an incredible caregiver for all of us, but when he gets sick, oh boy, that's a different story. But we're all giving each other grace. We're all kind of at our wits' end with winter and sickness and germs and cold. And I know a lot of the country has been experiencing some crazy weather. Here in Vermont, we went, I think it was 28 consecutive days below freezing. Um, and a lot of that was sub-zero temperatures. So we couldn't even get fresh air or like clear out our lungs or open the windows for a little while. Like, we've been stuck inside, cranking the wood stove under the blankets, just, yeah. So it's cold. We're cranky. Um, this sounds a lot like complaining. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I mean, to wrap up the whole sickness thing, I'm not sure that I mentioned it here before, but we also went through about a week and a half where we had a pretty big scare with our older dog. He's not super, he's only 6, but our older dog Tucker had some emergency vet situations, and that was super scary. So it was a lot of sleepless nights with that as well, and emergency trips to the vet and medication and diet and like just we've been nursing him back while nursing ourselves back. And yeah, it's been crazy. But along the way, we've also had some pretty cool things happen. So the podcast officially hit over 10,000 downloads, which is insane to me. And that is reporting from Buzzsprout. So I'm not exactly sure if that takes into account like YouTube downloads. or what the whole metrics are, but that is a huge celebration. My goal was to hit it before my birthday, which was this past Friday, February 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th. We're going to get into that too. And I did. I hit it, I think 4 or 5 days before my birthday, and I'm incredibly humbled and incredibly proud of the space that we've all built together. And even though it feels like I have had to reschedule more recording sessions than I ever have in the entire 3 years that I've been doing this, it I'm beyond grateful to every guest who is understanding, who is willing to wait to share their story, who still wants to share their story, who reaches out to me to ask if they can share their story, because that lets me know that what we've created is a safe and sacred space, and I am beyond, beyond grateful, and the imposter syndrome is big. Um, every time someone reaches out to me to ask if they can be on the podcast to share their birth story, or the story of their child that they may have lost, or their experience with birth trauma, or anything, I am so humbled. Um, because yes, I do reach out to people as well. You've heard my ads for Podmatch. So I get aligned with people who may want to share their story on the podcast, or who share a similar mission as I do in perinatal mental health. But more and more and more over the last couple of years, I've had people reach out to me through my website, through Instagram, through Threads, through Facebook, and those connections, I don't know, like every connection is special, but those ones hold a little extra weight because they've found this space that we've created together, and they've found it to be helpful and safe and validating, and that's all I've ever wanted to do for you guys. So, yeah, 10,000 downloads, you guys, all over the world too, all over the world. Um, I'm not just talking US, UK, Canada, like North America, South America, Europe, just I could go down the list. Maybe I'll at some point I'll list them all out. Yeah, it's crazy where people are listening. Um, and yeah, I have a couple of listeners, or maybe one listener, I don't know. But there are two, I always get 2 downloads on every episode from Germany. And I would say the name of the town or city. I'm pretty sure I'd say it wrong, so I'll pop it in the show notes. And if you are that listener, reach out to me. I want to know who you are. I am so thankful that you literally have listened to every episode every week. It blows my mind. But yeah, I don't know. I've got pocket friends all over the world, and that's insane for someone who has been an introvert for most of my life, and very socially awkward and shy, and I do not like attention on me. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. That just goes to show, if you have a message and you feel passionate about something, do the thing. On that note, my birthday present to myself was going to Boston to see Brandy Carlisle at TD Garden. And there were a lot of hiccups along the way, but overall, it was one of the most incredible experiences, one of the most redemptive experiences, and I'll explain that a little bit as well. But it was kind of the first time that just me and my husband went away for a couple of days without the kids. We left on Thursday and came home on Saturday. So Thursday was the concert, and we basically drove down there just in time to get to the hotel, have a quick bite to eat, and go to the concert. Then we spent the day doing exactly what I wanted on Friday on my birthday, which was absolutely nothing. um, I was also still battling a cold. Don't come at me. I am chronically ill, so I stay sick a lot longer. I made sure that I was not positive for anything, flu, COVID, nothing. I masked anytime I left my hotel room. I kind of do that anyway, but I was very, very careful other than the fact that I didn't feel great. Although I was running really high on endorphins at the concert, and I didn't feel so crappy then. But Friday, I spent the whole day in my pajamas in the hotel, reading, watching TV shows, hanging out with my husband, just relaxing. And then we went to an incredible dinner at, I think it's called Legal Seafood Harborside, um, which was a little birthday treat from my mom and stepdad. And it honestly, I think was top 5 greatest meals I've ever had, if not number 1. I had salmon with this maple glaze and whipped potatoes and broccoli, and then I had a key lime pie for dessert, and oh my god, and a non-alcoholic pink bubbly. Um, so it felt very fancy, but it just, I don't know, it was so nice, and it was so nice to be with my husband. But yeah, before I get to the concert, which was Thursday night, the speed bumps, oh my god. Friday the 13th was Friday the 13th thing. My DoorDash account got hacked, and I immediately had to go into, like, shutdown mode. I had to shut down my DoorDash account, I had to shut down my credit cards, I had to lock down all my other, like, PayPal accounts and all that stuff, and I was so embarrassed. I am someone who prides myself on being able to spot a scam, and this is the first time that it got by me, and I think I was just so tired and so overwhelmed. Um, yeah, they got me. They got me good, but thankfully, my bank caught it and we caught it, and it was taken care of really quickly. I just didn't have a card for the rest of the time we were in Boston. So, we had to rely on my husband for that, but, that's all fixed now. And then also, like, the DoorDash that I ordered messed up my timing, and so it was a schedule ahead order for lunch, but they delivered it at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't know. So it had been sitting downstairs for hours, and I think one of the things got taken, and yeah, so I had to order the same thing through Grubhub at this time and pay for it twice, and that was fun. Um, other than that, honestly, it was incredible. The concert, the last time that I saw Brandy live was at the same venue, and it was in October of 2022. I was not well. I had just had my youngest in June, and I was really, really struggling with my mental health. We didn't know how bad it was about to get, but I was not well. Don't really remember a lot of that concert. And then about 3 weeks later, I would be hospitalized for the first time in psychiatric care, and I would not be back home for good until into January of 2023. So, looking back on that concert, as much as Brandy has been my lifesaver and played a huge role in my psychiatric hospitalizations, you can learn more about that in other episodes or my blog posts. I just I don't have good memories of that concert, and as soon as I heard that the presale tickets were live, I'm part of the Bramley, so I got a little heads up. I jumped on it. I bought the tickets back in October of 2025. Um, we booked the hotel, and I said, we're doing this. We're gonna do this." And then when I started feeling sick, ugh, I was like, "No, I can't miss this." My husband was like, "I will take you there in a wheelchair if I have to. We are going." Luckily, it didn't get to that point. We went, our seats were incredible. The concert was something I will never, ever, ever forget. She made TD Garden feel like, if you're from Vermont, you'll know what higher ground is, but it's like a small, intimate venue. She made it feel like we were all just right there with her, and it was incredible. And she played 3 songs in a row that hit my soul. It was like a 1, 2, 3 punch. She it was midway through the concert, and she sang "You Without Me," which is the song that I associate with my oldest daughter now. And that got to me. And then she played The Mother right after it, which was the song that I associated with both of my kids, but song that I sang to myself through many sleepless nights in the psychiatric unit, because a nurse asked me to do it. She said, "What do you like to do?" And I said, "I like to sing." "Who do you like to sing?" I said, "Brandy Carlisle." And she said, "Okay, if you're not going to sleep, you're going to sing." And I did, and I kept doing it. And I sang The Mother, and I sang The Story. And right after she played The Mother, she played The Story. So it was like someone turning up the volume on my tears, and I sobbed uncontrollably, full body sobbing. My husband took video of those particular songs, but oh my gosh, and afterwards, she went into I can't even remember what song she went into, but it was just so joyful, and I felt like taking a deep breath, and my soul felt a little bit lighter. And that whole concert, I just felt alive, I felt seen, I felt love like you wouldn't believe from everywhere, from the whole room, from Brandy, from the band, from the twins, from it just it could not have been more perfect. It was exactly what I needed. And I know I'm gonna see her again. My next goal is to get to either the Gorge or Girls Just Want a Weekend. I know I'm gonna do both at some point, but the next thing I wanna do is either see her at the Gorge or go to Girls Just Want a Weekend. Um, we'll see if I can make that happen. That's a little expensive, but yeah, the concert was incredible, and we we just enjoyed ourselves, and we enjoyed the drive home. The drive in Boston was horrific. I don't know how any of you Bostonians do that on the daily, but I am so glad that we don't. I love your city, but I will not drive in it. And yeah, we came home to our kids, and our kids are sick, and I am still recovering, but I'm getting there. And I'm being more and more transparent about when my chronic illness and my immune system are giving me trouble. And I don't know, I'm finding acceptance and love and support. And so I think that just speaks to if you can be honest with yourself and honor what you need, then others will follow suit. And if they don't, they're not your people. There's so much more. There's so much more that I could fill you in on, but I feel like I'd go down too many rabbit holes, and these are supposed to be 30 minutes or less. So, yeah, I'm going to switch the laundry, fill my water bottle, make sure my kids' water bottles are draining because they should be drinking water or they're not going to be feeling better. And I'm sending you all enormous virtual hugs. I hope you find some glimmers in your day. And I will catch you here again next Thursday. Motherhood's messiest moments, we're airing them out.
Odd Moms on Call is the podcast where a no BS mom squad tackles parenting, politics, and everything in between.
It's like venting to your besties, but with mics.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Buzzsprout and grab a seat at the table.